series of Doctor Who set to air in just a few weeks, I felt this would be the perfect time to do a rundown of everything we know so far about Series 10. So there will probably be spoilers in this video. If you don't like spoilers, drop the video a like and get lost, or subscribe. But getting straight into the video though, there have so far been 2 trailers shown for the series, and I'll leave links to both of them in the description below, so be sure to check them out after watching my video. But naturally we'll start with episode 1. So episode 1 is set to be called A Star in Her Eye, written by Steven Moffat and directed by Lawrence Gow. We don't know much about the story, but we do know that it will feature the return of Matt Lucas as Nardole. Great. And it will be the opening story for Bill, played by Pearl Mackie. It will air on Saturday 15th of April and will feature Killer Puddles. I don't think I will be a fan of this one. Episode 2 is supposedly going to be called Smile, written by Frank Cottrell Boyce, who has previously written In the Forest of the Night, a story I'm not particularly fond of, and we know that this story will be set in the future and will feature those bloody emoji robot things. So yeah, the series isn't sounding too great so far. Episode 3 is apparently called Thin Ice. It will be Sarah Dollard's second script, I believe, after Series 9's Face the Raven. I do like that story, so hopefully this one will be just as good as that one. It will be directed by Bill Anderson and will be set in the 1800s, and it will feature some sort of serpent-like creature in the Thames. This one sounds more like a gothic story, which is good for Doctor Who, I think. Moving on, episode 4 is called The Haunted Hub, written by Mike Bartlett. Also directed by Bill Anderson. This is the story that will star David Suchet as the landlord, according to Doctor Who TV, who I'm actually using for a lot of this information, and I'll leave a link to them in the description below. We will find out why floorboards creak in houses. That sounds good, but then they say apparently it will feature giant woodlice, which is not so good. Episode 5 is supposedly a scary one called Oxygen, but we don't know much about it as of yet, other than the fact that it's written by Jamie Matheson and directed by Charles Palmer. Episode 6 is called Extremis. It's written by Moffat and directed by Daniel Nettheim or something. No idea how to pronounce his name. Michelle Gomez is set to reprise her role as Missy in this story, so it'll be interesting to see how she escaped from the Daleks in The Witch's Familiar. Could this mean the return of the Daleks in this story? Obviously that's just speculation, but I hope if they do return, they do have a good story for once. Episode 7 hasn't really been given a name yet, but it is written by Peter Harness, known for his Series 8 story Kill the Moon, and his Series 9 story The Zygon Invasion / the Zygon Inversion. I don't really like Kill the Moon, but the Zygon story was alright, so I do have high hopes for this story. Episode 8 is also untitled but written by Toby Whithouse, who has previously written the Series 2 story School Reunion, which is actually a really good story. I really enjoyed that one. Also Series 5's The Vampires of Venice, not such a good story. He also wrote my favourite story of Series 6, which is The God Complex. My favourite story of Series 7, which is a town called Mercy. And one of the best stories of Series 9, which was Under the Lake and Before the Flood. So I do have high expectations for this story as well. Episode 9 is Mark Gatiss' story for the series. He's written several stories since the show's revival. These are Series 1's The Unquiet Dead, Series 2's The Idiot's Lantern. Obviously he starred in Series 3's The Lazarus Experiment. Didn't do anything for Series 4. Series 5 he wrote Victory of the Daleks. Series 6 he wrote Night Terrors. Series 7 he wrote Cold War, and he also wrote Crimson Horror. Series 8 he wrote Robots of Sherwood. In Series 9 he wrote Sleep No More. The story is untitled at the moment, but we do know that it features the return of the Ice Warriors. Episode 10 is called The Eaters of Light and is written by Rona Munro, who is actually the writer of the 1989 story Survival, which is the final story of the classic run of Doctor Who. I believe this story is meant to have something to do with Romans, but don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure. And episodes 11 and 12 are the ones I'm most excited for. So as of yet, the titles are unknown, but the BBC announced earlier today that it will feature the return of the Mondasian Cybermen for the 1966 story The 10th Planet. And of course the Christmas Special 2017 will be Moffat's last story as head writer, but more importantly Peter Capaldi's last episode as my second favourite Doctor. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video and I hope you learned a thing or two from it. Drop a like on the video if you did, and subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Twitter at HarryDavis5661. Comment down below about your thoughts so far on Series 10, and that's pretty much it. So cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.